proud sponsor of The Health Blaze at thehealthblaze.com. 100% all natural products from lotions, soaps, foot soaks, bath bombs, and much, much more. Use the promo code Goodfella1Boxing. Tell them your boy CJ Goodfella sent you, get 18% off. We out. All right, man, I got word that Jermall Charlo's next possible opponents could be the number one WBC ranked Serhiy Derevianchenko or the interim WBA title holder in Chris Eubanks Jr. So let's talk a little bit about his next opponents. Don't forget we on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. You can reach out to the email if you have a business question, inquiry, sponsorship, video request. Keep sharing the videos. Appreciate the love, support, all right? So, he's going... All right, let's start off with the whole Demetrius Andrade Canelo situation. It depends who you talk to. It seems like Charlo is going to pass up on at least $7 million to fight Boo Boo, to fight either Derevianchenko or Chris Eubanks Jr. So they probably going to be in some type of order in 2020 for him. He can make $7 million. He's not going to make that fighting Derevianchenko. He's not going to make that fighting Chris Eubanks Jr. So it's a power struggle. You know what I'm saying? Or, he can do whatever you want. All right? And this is what they choosing to do for him. He hasn't came out and disputed nothing. He's been quiet as a church mouse, but Charlos really don't have a huge social media presence. Every now and again when they got a fight coming on, they hop on social media to speak their truth. All right, but for him it is what it is. So the reality of it is he gonna fight Derevianchenko, Chris Eubanks Jr. And Derevianchenko was coming. Well, he lost his last 2 out of 3 fights, I believe, or something like that. I feel that they should have ordered an immediate rematch between him and Golovkin for the IBF. They didn't do that. And I believe that Al Heyman got Derevianchenko ranked at number 1 with the WBC to challenge Charlo. I do think that's why they did that. He probably going to fight Chris Eubanks Jr. first and then fight Derevianchenko, let Derevianchenko get in the win column. But like I said, Chris Eubanks Jr., it's a good fight, but Chris Eubanks ain't been active is the problem. And it don't do nothing for Charlo's career. It's not a better win than Julian Williams. It's not a better win than Austin Trout. But it'd probably be his best win in the middleweight division. If people want to say he beat Korobov, maybe that Korobov was a better win. But it's not. I mean, even if you go to the UK, Chris Eubanks Jr. don't have a huge following in the UK, from what I understand. So they might fight like in Boston or something like that, or they might fight at the Barclays Centers. That's the type of fight this is going to be. But I thought at one point it'd be a really good fight. Eubanks is really, really aggressive, but he really relapsed. You know what I'm saying? I think Charlo should knock him out. I thought he was getting better at one point, which it'd be a good fight where, he'll be able to get on the inside and I'll work Charlo. But I think eventually Charlo straight shots and him being a little bit more fluid and getting more fluid in his movement, I think he'll put Chris Eubanks Jr. to sleep. Eubanks got a really good jaw, but it just seemed like he ain't getting no better. You know what I'm saying? He not progressing. He not active. If he was able to get a fight or two before fighting Jermall Charlo and kind of showcase his skills, then I have a better gauge on it. But Charlo been more active. Charlo seemed a lot better versus Dennis Hogan. So I just see with Eubanks lunging in, squaring up a lot. I think it's just a matter of time before Charlo, hit the light switch on him and put him to sleep. Now, Derevianchenko is a fight that intrigues me, but this is a no-win situation for him. If he beat the shit out of Derevianchenko and knock him out, Triple G softened him up. Triple G already beat him. Danny Jacobs already beat him. You know what I'm saying? So, in a way, he just fighting somebody leftovers. He can be the first dude to stop Serhiy Derevianchenko. You know what I'm saying? But he already fought Danny. He fought Cole Clot to a close fight. He fought Torian Johnson. He fought already a lot of different guys in his career. So at the same time, it makes no sense to fight Derevianchenko for what you've been getting, $1.5 million, $2 million, and not want to go into unification bout with Demetrius Andrade and go to the zone, because Derevianchenko fight is a tough fight for him. That's a very, very losable fight. You know what I'm saying? Even though Derevianchenko been softened up in the wars a little bit, I think at this point you probably give him more clout for beating Danny Jacobs, but this is their plan, and this is what he gonna do. And it just, sometimes I'm telling you, man, when you look at Premier Boxing Champions, it has no logic to it. The only logic it has to it is in-house fights take precedent over everything else, no matter if it's unification bout or whatever the situation may be. Him beating the shit out of Derevianchenko, that ain't gonna make Triple G, want to fight you no more. That's not gonna get you an extra belt. That's not gonna get you no cool points. You know what I'm saying? That's not gonna get you no points with the boxing fans. Unless you stop him early. But then again, he been through a couple wars. He lost, I think, 2 of his last 3 fights. He had a tough fight with Jack Coldclaw in between that. So, they just don't have no logic. He can make $1 million, $1.5 million. He probably gonna make that much fight neither one of these dudes. He gonna make that fight them dudes, and he could make 7 fighting Demetrius Andrade. And people say, well, Eddie Hearn lying. I don't think Eddie Hearn is lying about that. I heard they was willing to go as far as 10, but that's just the logic, And think about this, man. They acknowledged that they was offering Tank 5 to 7 to come over and fight Tevin Farmer. They acknowledged that Leonard Ellaby acknowledged that was real. Don't forget, they paid Peter Quillen to drop his middleweight WBO belt at one point in time. So it's been the same thing. They told Deontay Wilder not to turn down a $120 million deal from the Zone. We see that time and time again, with PBC. And it's just time for them. If they don't want to work with nobody, and I get it. That's what Top Rank did 10 years ago. Top Rank didn't want to work with nobody. They froze Al Heyman out of HBO. Al Heyman then took his ball and went to HBO. He worked with a few promoters, worked with Eddie, worked with Top Rank a little bit. And now he doing what Top Rank did 10 years ago. And guess what happened to Top Rank? They still ain't recovered. You know what I'm saying? They still ain't recovered. You know what I'm saying? So now they got to work with everybody. But Al Heyman is successful at doing right by his fighters, but he's a rookie in the game still. He's still doing nothing innovative as far as, making in-house fights. Top Rank was doing that for years. And it ended up getting them put off HBO too for not wanting to work with other promoters. To turn down a unification bout to fight these 2 guys, which Eubanks is the easier to fight due to the lack of inactivity and the lack of progression in his career. Derevianchenko, a tough fight. That's a lose fight. If people say, Charlo got Derevianchenko on his resume, well, he lost to Danny Jacobs, and he lost to Golovkin. However you want to say it, he lost. He lost 2 of his last 3 fights. So how can you be put on the pedestal? How can you get more credit for beating, Derevianchenko over Demetrius Andrade? How can you credit for beating Chris Eubanks Jr., who just lost to a guy with one shoulder at 168, who lost to Billy Joe Saunders years later at 160? How can you get credit for that? This is nothing. At the end of the day, this is Eubanks is a low risk, low reward fight. Derevianchenko is a high risk, low reward fight. That's it. Only thing Charlo and Derevianchenko can do is make a fight of the year candidate. That's it. That's what that fight is, the styles wise. But other than that, it's not gonna sell out. It's not gonna be pay-per-view. It's not gonna be a unification bout. Everybody not gonna travel to see that fight. Maybe they might sell 5,000 tickets to that fight, if that. It's not a Vegas fight, But this is how they operating. This is what happened when you put non-boxing guys in charge of boxing. Charlo's career is getting killed. It is. His career is getting killed. This is stupid. If you really feel Demetrius Andrade is chinny, if you really feel Demetrius Andrade, ain't that good, or whatever situation is, you just step up and make it happen, Captain. Because Charlo's whole career has just been what it's been. It's been a few okay guys. All right, but no big start, no big fights, no unification clash. Depending on who you talk to, he got a real belt, a fake belt. He ain't really had that big crossover fight, so he should be trying to tell Al to make the Demetrius Andrade fight, but he struggled with southpaws, Trout, and Korobov, so it's understandable. So we'll see what happens, but like I said, these fights do nothing for his career. The best Derevianchenko could do is give him the fight of the year candidate, but he already lost to Danny Jacobs and he lost to Golovkin. The only thing he could do is knock him out. And people going to say, it was wear and tear from those fights, and he had a tough fight with Cold Cloud. But hey, let me know what you guys think. Don't forget, we on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Reach out to the email if you have a business question, inquiry, sponsorship, video request. Keep sharing the videos. Want to make a donation to the channel? That link's in the description. Best way to donate is share the video. And let me know what you think about Charlo's potential 2020, which things can change. But hey, one time for the one time we go.